Allison Flannery, and I am a volunteer with the Chamber of Commerce and the chair of the quarterly breakfast, and work very closely with Marnie. We work together on the breakfasts and plan them, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm very, very glad to be here. And I want to thank you all for coming this morning bright and early, and I know you're here because you care what's going on in your community. You want to learn what is going on in your community, and this is the place where you will get that information. I want to thank our sponsors, the Event Spot, Backburner Family Restaurant, our program sponsor, Arizona's Hometown Radio Group, and he'll get more applause later, and also because I'll be introducing him more. But I also want to ask the elected officials if they would please stand up so we could acknowledge them. All elected officials, please. And we especially appreciate your coming so you can hear what we're up to today. This is a very important breakfast because it has a lot of information about everything from economic development to the new things going on in town. I know you're going to appreciate being here. I would first like to again invite up from Arizona's Hometown Radio Group, Sanford Cohen, who is the president and CEO, and they have sponsored this quarterly breakfast year after year after year after year, and we appreciate it. Sanford Cohen.
Well, it all started in 1985 when my wife Terry and I started Prescott Valley's first radio station on the corner of Robert Road and Jackie Drive. Our antenna was mounted on a telephone pole next to the studio, and all 3,200 residents could hear us. A few months later, we got up to Glassford Hill and started the first solar-powered FM radio station in the country. That was in June of 1986. What you're seeing here is a ribbon cutting with the three mayors. Phil Beeson of Prescott Valley is all the way on the right. Jerry Wagner of Prescott is next to him. Then there's Terry and me, and then Herb Voss from Chino Valley. And the Hitneys are the couple that ran the company that installed the solar equipment. And that's KPPV 106.7, where you climb aboard the Russ bus every weekday morning with Russ Edwards. After that came KQNA, Prescott Valley's second radio station and its first news, talk, sports station. Prescott Valley hosts Talk of the Town. Talk of the Town on Tuesdays at 4. And that's Cutter Chamberlain there with host Marnie Ewell. And also, once a month, we hear from the town of Prescott Valley. Lori Hunt is primarily our host there, and John Potus does the turn for the Humboldt Unified School District. You know, I get a chance to interview people on my show on Thursdays at 4, and generally I like to interview political people, and that's one of our talk show hosts, Sebastian Gorka, who is on Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And John Voight, when he was here for the memorial service for the 19. And I also like sports people and musicians, and I also like ex-mayors, like Harvey Skoog. Harvey and I absolutely went back to the very first chamber mixer I ever attended in Prescott Valley, which was in May of 1985. He was an accountant then. I would have never, ever guessed that he would have run for political office, become a mayor, been a mayor for so many years, and done such an outstanding job. And we all miss him, I'm sure. Another person we miss very badly is former Prescott Valley Town Councilman Mike Flannery, Allison's husband. And that's one of the things that being involved in community events, emceeing Harvey's retirement, excuse me, his retirement, and working on Mike's memorial and things like that. This is just stuff that I hope I'm able to contribute. We also do sports. We have a sports show on Friday afternoons at 4. Let's Talk Sports. We've been there 29 years. And one of my highlights was being able to hold the Diamondbacks World Series trophy. The reason I know it's the real thing is you can see the flags are bent there on the side. That's because when they did the parade after they won the World Series, that trophy got snagged on a tree as they were making their way down Washington. So I happened to be at the Coyotes game where they were celebrating it, and Doug McLeod, the play-by-play guy, wanted to take a picture of it, but he had to do a commercial. He says, "Hey, you want to hold this for a minute?" Yes. Yes, I do. And also get to interview some interesting sports figures. That's Don King from boxing, and there's the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, Mike Bidwell. And there's some interesting people there too. But anyway, I wanted to announce that this year on KQ&A, and there's musicians. I like those interviews too. That's Smokey Robinson. Cool dude. And Stephen Stills, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Charlie Daniels, Devil Went Down to Georgia. Buddy Guy, great blues man. But what I wanted to announce is that this year KQ&A is going to broadcast the Super Bowl. And we do that thanks to the generosity of about 18 local sponsors that signed on to help us with the broadcast. And so this is from the last Super Bowl that we were involved in Phoenix, down in Super Bowl 49. And that's the kind of people that show up at the Super Bowl. So we're expecting we're going to have an onslaught of celebrities like that as well. And for those of you with Bluetooth, you can download our app. There's a flyer on all the tables. You can take it with you, scan the code, and we are the world's original hands-free mobile media. And the police in Prescott Valley are making darn sure that you stay hands-free. Yay, cops. So I just wanted to wish everyone an early happy Valentine's Day, and thanks again for coming today.
Thank you. That was Sanford Cohen, President and CEO of Arizona's Hometown Radio Group, and we will hear from him later on some economic issues. So our next speaker, we all know and love, is Marnie Ewell, the President and CEO of the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning. Whoa, okay, I don't need this very much. I'll stand back a little bit. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Glad you're joining us and came back because originally we were scheduled for January 31st, kicking off the new year, and as many of you know, we had to reschedule. That we probably didn't have to reschedule, but in looking at it and I have to tell you, I blame Robbie, APS here. We were on text messaging with Kim and I on Sunday saying, because we had to work with our caterer to say, are you on or you're off? And if you're on, even if we were off, we'd still have to, pay and everything. So we thought, okay, in the spirit of everybody being safe, we took the high road and said, we're going to cancel. All indications were that it was going to dump 7 inches, and we were all going to be stuck at home for a day. And thanks, Robbie. Anyway, and Robbie's with APS, one of our board members, and I go to him because he's in the construction part of it, so they have to anticipate huge storms and maybe outages and lines down. So they watch it even closer than we do. But we appreciate it. Still, you're all here, and in fact, Kim immediately got a bunch of cancellations and turned around and got double the people coming in today. So thank you all for being here. I want to recognize a few people from our board of directors, our board members, Frank Almendarez. Frank, I know you're there, yes, with Dignity Health. Thank you. Rick Anderson, did I see Rick come in? I knew he was planning on being here. Robbie Hool, he is our second vice chair. And then Also, Vice Mayor Lori Hunt. He's also serves on our board. Serves as active, helps. She's right there, the biggest cheerleader. Also, I want to recognize a couple of past chairmen who continue to be involved in our community, and one is Ron Fain. Ron? It's so fun to be in our boardroom and see Ron's picture because how many years ago was that, Ron, that you were a chairman? Long time ago. He looked quite young. As did Sanford Cohen. He has a picture on our wall, and he was quite young. But it's fun and continuing to be a part of the community, and we continue to thank you for helping us. I met some new people today, and they John Pottis, you snuck in. He's also on our board of directors. I didn't see you. I don't want to neglect anybody. I have X-ray vision out there, you guys. Really want to thank our Chairman Circle members, and that are those businesses and organizations that go above and beyond making added investments so that we continue to fulfill the mission of serving our business community. So we've got the Town of Prescott Valley as our sustaining member, Founders Levels, Dignity Health, Yavapai Regional Medical Center, Fain Signature Group, and Yavapai College. All great friends and partners. Bucky's and Yavapai Casino is in our premier level and platinum levels, APS, Arizona's Hometown Radio Group. We've got Desert Financial Credit Union, and I'm looking at the one at the end, and I can't even see it. Universal Homes, thank you, Joe Contadino. And then again, our gold level is Finley Auto Group, and again, Foothills Bank. And I just can't see that far, National Bank. Because I had a contact in today, from my distance, and it got all wonky, and then everything I saw was blurry, and so I decided to take it out. But I can see Kendall back there and Brandon, so I know I'm looking at the back row. All right, well, welcome to our State of the Town, and this is a little bit of a different title. We're looking to grow this event, to make it bigger, that we're celebrating, a new year, the town of Prescott Valley, but business is the backbone, providing the goods and services and jobs that are contributing to the quality of life. So that means you all in the business community. You're appreciated, you're valued, respected. We thank you very, very much for being here. Please give yourselves a round of applause. You are there. We are halfway through. Our fiscal year goes from July 1st to June 30th. So when we look at this, where we're going this year, we're halfway through of what our strategic plan was for last year, so our 2022-2023. But I do have to say that our board was really proactive in setting strategic goals of accomplishing certain things that work towards the benefit of business, and they all fall under pillars. You can find those on our website if you want to look in detail. But halfway through, we are accomplishing 90% of them. So congratulations to them. We just finished, and I hope many of you participated in it. We did a business climate survey. So if you did, thank you. Always this with surveys, you hope you get a huge response, you get a medium response, and then you're happy with this response. But I'm going over those results now. Thank you, Ryan Jones with Yavapai College. Where are you, Ryan? There you are. He worked on it with me, and a great partner. We've got actually a piece that we can publish. We'll have it up on our website, but I will be presenting to Mayor and Council just what is the business climate we ask the businesses. Coming up in second phase of that, we're going to do a business walk, partnering with the town of Prescott Valley, and we're going to pair up and we're going to stop in and visit you and ask you, what are your concerns? What do you seek we can help you with? And where do we look from going from here? We want to build a better community. We're doing it in partnership. So it's all hands on deck, and we're going to make it work. We have 8 in our Business Academy class. Thank you, Wayne, you're here. He's in our Business Academy class. Am I missing anybody else that's joining us there? That's our 8-week business program, and we've got that going on. We've got a couple other programs. So I can't do it alone. I'm standing up here, and I appreciate Allison's words. She's a doll, and my right arm, I am so glad she's staying with us. But I can't do it alone. So amazing, dedicated board of directors. Please, thank you. Then also our volunteers, our amazing, wonderful, cheerful ambassadors. Oh, we got them. But best of all, and the ones that keep me going every single day, inspire me, push me, get on me, correct me, fix me, and that's my team at the Chamber. So we've got Gloria, who does our accounting and finance. Joining us new this year is April Siebersma. She's our project coordinator. We're excited to have her on board. And then I would like to invite up both two of our powerhouses, Katie Swan, who is our Membership Services Manager, and also Kim Minosky. And they will share a couple of things that we're looking at going forward, and then I will wrap up with just another great thank you to all of you for being here. So, Kim, you want to go first?
Good morning, everybody. Those of you that don't know you, Marnie just introduced me. I'm Kim Minosky. I'm the Program and Events Manager at the Chamber. And I am very excited to be up here to announce that we will be hosting our inaugural International Women's Day Luncheon. That will be held on March 10th. It is an afternoon of women celebrating women, so we're really excited about it. Men, you get to come too. It's just a fun day for women, though. Tickets are on sale on our website, so feel free to jump on and get those tickets. And as well as we have plenty of investment opportunities available. So those of you that want to be a part of it and join us in this inaugural event, please give me a call at the Chamber or visit our website. Thank you.
Kim drew the short straw. She had to go first. So my name is Katie. I'm the Membership Services Manager at the Chamber. One of the things that I have been doing in the last year when I have a new member join is I survey them. I want to know what their goals are. When they join the Chamber, what's the value that they're looking for out of their membership? And a lot of what I'm seeing from my new members is they want to have lunch and learns. I feel like after the past couple of years, we're now able to get back together again. So you all are hearing it here first. We are bringing back our Lunch and Learn series. Our very first one is going to be on Thursday, March 2nd. Thank you to the town of Prescott Valley and the library for allowing us to use your crystal room. So the program's going to start at 12, or Lunch and Learn will start at 12. Our program will start at 12:15, so that gives people time to get there. Our very first topic is going to be on fire safety. I think that can hit on everybody, whether it's within your business or if it's at your house. And then after that, my other topics that I have secured are going to be on leadership and social media. So these are things that our members have been asking for. If you have a topic that you would like to hear about, please come see me. I'm looking forward to hearing our feedback from all of you and all of our members. So very excited about this, and I hope all of you can attend, but I don't know if 140 people can fit in the crystal room. So seating is limited, but very excited about this. Thank you.
It's fun. I'm standing over there, and I'm looking around, and I want to first of all thank Sanford Cohen, Arizona's Hometown Radio Group, for coming on board as one of the sponsors for the International Women's Lunch. He just confirmed it with me today, shared it with Kim, and said, so thank you. And also he's sitting there saying, you know, they're doing Lunch and Learns, and I think we could do a media, communications, advertising program. So I'm thinking he's over there saying, maybe we can get in and do one of the Lunch and Learns. I read his mind. But anyway, we're going to finish up the year with our business walk, our Team Up to Cleanup, and Prescott Valley Days. And I want you to know it's the 45th anniversary, the incorporation of the town of Prescott Valley, celebrating through Prescott Valley Days. That's how it all started. And so 45 years that this town has been moving forward and becoming the leader in Yavapai County in northern Arizona that it is. We are partnering with the Courier, and we are doing a theme contest. So if you have some ideas for a great theme for Prescott Valley Days, we did it last year, and it was so successful. We want to hear from, you know, those of you that participate, those of you that live here, your residents that say, I think this is a good theme. And last year we had fun with it. It was Hippie Hippie Race, submitted by one of our business members. But, you know, think about it and just go online and submit your ideas. We have a committee that will be selected. We'll be selecting the theme, which it also includes Heidi Foster from the town of Prescott Valley. She's passionate about a lot of those things. So our doors are always open. We got a front door and we got a back door. So whichever side you come in, please come over and stop by and see us. You've got ideas, thoughts. We're taking suggestions all the time. We just want to build a bigger, better chamber, contributing to quality of life in Prescott Valley, increasing partnerships that I think are necessary to make us that strong, vibrant community that we've seen and that we continue to be. So thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to hearing from our program too, because they've got a lot of great stuff to share. So hi Michael, I saw you come in too. we announced elected officials. So Michael Greer, one of our newest council members, is here too. All right, thank you all, and enjoy the program.
Again, I'm very glad you're all here today. It is going to be very informative. You get an opportunity to learn more about your community. And the title of our breakfast today is State of the Town, Prescott Valley 2023. Who better to talk about the state of the town than our mayor, Kell Palguta.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, wowzers. Hey, this is a big week for me because Super Bowl's on Sunday. So I'm sure Sanford, big day for us. Who here is a Philadelphia Eagles fan? The reason I say that is because I just need to know if I need to use smaller words and talk real slow for the Eagles fans, okay? And I say this because, listen, no, I understand. The reason I say that is because I was at the Cardinals, they played the Eagles earlier in the season, and they are a very, very unique fan base, to say the least. So that is why. Do I have to stay in one spot? What's the story here? So with that being said, we're just going to get going on what we have. We'll start off. Prescott Valley Town Council, I know they were introduced earlier, but folks, I just want to say that they are the hardest working town council, city council that you will find in the state of Arizona. So again, let's please give them a round of applause for all the hard work that they do. I also want to recognize we have members of town of Prescott Valley staff. We have obviously Gilbert's here, but we also have some in the back. And who we have? We have Casey and Cutter. Ryan's here. Give them a round of applause too. If anyone knows Casey, you would think that she's an Eagles fan, but she's not. So we're just going to get right into what we have going on. Town population, where are we at? Shout out a number. 54,000. Higher or lower? Higher than 54? Raise your hand if it's higher. 55? 60, someone said. Wowzers. Well, it is going up a little bit. Here's where we at. 48,295. And you think I made that number up? I did not. Cutter gave it to me. So if he might have made it up. So just so we know, that's the number that we're at. So if you think about the number, people say 60,000. That's a lot, right? But we're up 1.65%. 1.65%, that's really not that bad, right? You hear people always talk about, oh, Prescott Valley's growing 10%, 15%, 20%. And that is just not the case. Okay, we're going off of the government and their numbers, so I don't know how much we can trust that, but needless to say, that is the number we're going to work with. And one thing that I don't have in this PowerPoint, people hear about population going up, so they think crime goes up, right? Is that kind of a safe assumption? Not here in Prescott Valley. Prescott Valley has a crime rate that has been going down consistently for the past 4 or 5 years. So I don't know if Chief Tyser is here. Is Chief Tyser here? But round of applause to our police department. Median age, 42.6. So again, that's a number that we got from Cutter. Average age in Prescott, 59. So it's kind of a contrast there a little bit, I should say. Building permits, let's look at this number right here. I'm trying to see it. So we are up 7.3% for building permits. So if you can't see the number, it's 558 this year. I want you to draw 2005 down at the bottom was 1,153 building permits. So think about that. That's what it was in the peak of the day. In the bottom of the day, 21. So who was around during that time? It was a little bit rough. 21 building permits built. So that says a lot of where we're at. 553. And the reason why I think the number is for our population increase, whatever the number was, 1.6%, if you correlate that, it's about 1,000, 1,100 people. So if you put in about 2 people per house, new construction build, puts you about 1,100 people. So it's kind of a consistent number. Economic growth. This is important. Retail, motel, restaurant. Where do you think we are on the growth of this, for our economic growth for the town? Give me a percent. 2%? Higher? Sanford? 5%? 9%. 9.3%. That's from the year before. What could contribute to that? I'm sure Sanford has his opinion. What do you think it is?
We are taking fewer vacations and spending more time here enjoying our local area.
Couldn't say it any better. Also might have to do with the price of eggs being up a little higher too, so that might help. New additions to our community. Here's some things that we touched on that have come to Prescott Valley that we haven't had before. Amazon, Kell Ranch, two major building spaces that were filled this year, resulting in 185 part-time and 20 full-time at Amazon and 60 employees at Kell Ranch. Kell Ranch, if you haven't been there, is also the largest shipping store for Kell Ranch in basically the Southwest, so that's awesome for Prescott Valley. Also, shout out to the Wranglers. I believe their first game is March 26th. Yes, 26th. So if you haven't been to the Wranglers, you got to get out there, got to support them. It's a great time for the family, and it's just awesome. The question, who do we want to be more like as a town and a community? Do we want to be like, do we want to be like Netflix, or do we want to be Blockbuster? That's really the question we have to ask ourselves as a community, right? What happened with Blockbuster? They have one store, I think, in Eugene, Oregon, or something like that right now. We have Blockbuster here, right? We had one here in Prescott Valley. It's no longer here. But Blockbuster eventually went away. And what was one of the biggest factors that made Blockbuster go away? They didn't keep up. They weren't able to pivot. They weren't able to just move with the times and change with the flow of things. They had the opportunity, right? Netflix, I mean, who remembers when Netflix came in the mail, right? You literally got the DVD in the mail. So what they do, though, even Netflix realized, hey, we need to change with things. And all of a sudden they went to streaming, and they moved on, and they create their own movies. And that's why they're the powerhouse that they are today. Prescott Valley has to have that attitude. We have to know that, hey, things are not always going to be the same, and we want to be a little bit better, and we want to improve every single day. Let me tell you, I'm so happy that this clicker is working here, because usually it's back there, and we're having some issues with it, so. What do we have here? What could this have to do with Prescott Valley? Basically what I said in regards to the pivoting and moving in a good direction. We always have to think about the future. We may not hit a home run every time, right? That's basically our lives in business and everyday lives. It's not always going to be batting 1,000. And we have to just know that if we can just try and kick around new ideas, that we are going to be better. And of course, the key to success, plan A, plan B, plan C, that's all about what Netflix was doing. They were always trying to change. They were always trying to, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? So our future for Prescott Valley, basically working towards a balanced aquifer. Gilbert's going to get to that in a little bit. We're going to secure our economy, and we're protecting our way of life. These are all important things that bring people to Prescott Valley. You hear every day, I love how Prescott Valley is. Whether that person came here, 20 days ago or 20 years ago. So that's important. We're going to skip through this. This is up Gilbert's area. Secure our economy, diversification, town revenue, and our workforce. We can't just all rely on construction, right? We can't focus on one thing, and that's the goal of Prescott Valley, is to be able to spread out in regards to what our options are. One of the things that, believe it or not, that is going to be helping us is that huge chip factory down North Phoenix, right? The microchip factory. You see it's like 1 million square feet or something like that. It's literally 55 minutes from Prescott Valley. So people are going to be able to go down there, they're going to work, then they're going to come back and live in paradise. But then we're also hopefully going to be able to attract some of that, because there's going to be businesses out there that are going to have to feed all those chip factories and all those workers down there. So Prescott Valley is on the cusp of doing really, really great things, and we just have to be able to embrace that and know that that's going to happen. And one of the things, too, I can't stress it enough, securing our economy, means supporting our schools. We have to have Class A schools, and John Pottis is trying to get us there and make us the tip of the spear when it comes to schools, because we want to encourage people that want to move here. They want to know that their children are going to get a great education, and I cannot thank John and his team for what they do for our schools. So round of applause for John. Maintaining our way of life. Who here does not love living in Prescott Valley? Raise your hand. So I'm going to tell you, get out if you don't love it, all right? Because we all love Prescott Valley, and we all have our reasons for why we love Prescott Valley, and it's important that we just build off of that. Is it going to be perfect? No, but there's no place out there that's perfect. We can just work together as a team, as citizens, as business owners, and just know that together we are stronger, as opposed to just constantly trying to battle and push and pull and not know what direction we're going to be rowing in. So that's why that is so, so important. In conclusion, how do we want to move forward as a community? Open to new ideas, right? That's all. Wowzers. Open to new ideas. Not be afraid to fail. I think that's one of the most important things. And if we're going to fail, Elon Musk says, always fail fast, right? You don't want to drag it out. If we're going to fail, we're going to fail, and we're going to move on. And that's okay, because that makes you stronger in the end. And then ultimately, together is what we all make up Prescott Valley. Even Sanford, when he's shopping at Fry's, I see him bebopping around, smiling, shaking hands. That's what makes Prescott Valley so great, because you can still go out to the grocery store, and you can still see someone that they smile, they say hi to you, they're not just head down, pushing their shopping cart. So it says a lot. I had a picture of Sanford on a vacation that missed the PowerPoint, and I'm very disappointed, and I apologize, but I'll make sure I get that out next time. But ladies and gentlemen, this is all we have. There's a lot of great things that are going to be coming forward for Prescott Valley this year. 2023 is truly, truly going to be Prescott Valley's best year, and I'm so glad that you guys are here to enjoy it. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That was Mayor Kell Palguta, and that was a very invigorating speech, and I'm really glad we can get that information to follow up closely on some of the things that the mayor was talking about. I'd like to introduce Town Manager Gilbert Davidson from the town of Prescott Valley.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is definitely loud. Mayor, I feel like we play in the Super Bowl every day here in Prescott Valley. So, and it is, there's a lot of truth to a plan A, plan B, plan C, and many times we have a plan D and E and F. So you have to be able to be nimble and be able to pivot. So what I want to hopefully share with you today is a little bit of a deeper dive into some work that many of our staff members, some community members, and some outside resources have been working on over the past number of months. And it's an issue that is of vital importance to our community, not only for our generation, but for future generations of Prescott Valley. So we're going to be talking about water, which I won't go into too much technical detail because I'll probably put you to sleep at this early morning hour on legal issues related to water. But I definitely want you to walk out of here with a sense that the town of Prescott Valley has an intentional water management plan and that we're thinking generational about this. And so I think it's very important as business leaders, people that you live in this community. You want to know that your local government, your business community, the fabric of what keeps this community running has a long-term plan and oversight of our water resources. And it starts with a strategic plan. So the mayor kind of highlighted about having a strategic plan. Marnie mentioned that. It's a critical piece. And I want to recognize the mayor and council for taking a very bold step at the end of 2021 that laid out a new kind of vision for Prescott Valley, and included in that vision was a component called water stewardship. And that water stewardship is all about being responsible for the planning and management of sustainable water resources. At when the plan was put together, there were kind of three main focus areas that the council tasked the staff to really start to dig in and look at. The first is everything that we can do to recharge the water that we use in our homes and businesses that go to the sewer treatment plant. We need to make sure that every drop of that water is being cleaned to the highest level and that we're appropriately putting it back into the aquifer for future use. So we have a very detailed plan that's related to that particular piece of it. The second is a new area that we've been spending a lot of time on, and that is watershed restoration and stormwater management. And we work in partnership with a coalition, the Upper Verde River Watershed Protection Coalition, as well as other partners, in looking at the broader issue of overall watershed management. So that's basically making sure our forests are healthy, our grasslands are healthy, and that when we do have rain events and snow events, as much of that water is getting put back into the aquifer and not just running off and benefiting communities downstream from us. The other part to that is looking at stormwater management, and so I'll talk a little bit further about that on a later slide, but again, making sure that legally we can capture every drop of water that comes into our community, that we're trying to make it for beneficial use for ourselves. And then the last piece is always being, and this is where we have to certainly have a plan A, plan B, plan C, but always being on the lookout for additional water resources that we could acquire and bring into our region, and make sure that we have not only the water that we need for ourselves today, but again for that long-term generational water needs. The mayor kind of highlighted this, and I just want to again reemphasize the importance that water management is, and oftentimes we'll hear people say, well, why don't we just stop growth? One, it's probably not even legal that the town could just stop growth, but I want everyone here to understand what that means and what it would mean to you as a business leader in this community and an investment. We need to make sure we have a viable economy. We have to make sure that we've got good, high-paying jobs. We, the town, all of us in this room, we live off of sales tax. So sales tax is what pays for the police officers. Sales tax is what pays for the parks and the roads that we drive on. So we cannot collapse our economy by saying, well, we're not going to let any more people move into the community. And what that honestly, would entail is, let's say Prescott Valley, Chino just didn't issue one more building permit. Growth will continue to happen. They'll just go to the county areas. So sorry, county. They will buy properties. If anyone owns land in the county area, you could subdivide that property, and over time, many homes and other infrastructure will be built out in the county and unincorporated area. That's what will happen. I'm a native Arizonan. I lived in southern Arizona. I can point out different areas in the state that if we do not have an intentional management plan, that will happen. There will be unincorporated growth, and that will have a huge impact on all of our communities here in Yavapai County. So making sure we have a viable economy for our future, that we can attract new industries to this area, is absolutely vital to our long-term future. That balancing of the aquifer is basically, if we take a gallon out from underneath of us, we need to be finding a way to put a gallon back in. That's at the very simple part of how do we protect our aquifer, is that we're living within the means that we have. And that final piece, and the mayor did a great job of highlighting our quality of life. We don't want to, so many people, when I meet them for the first time and ask, why did you move here? It's for all the things why we moved here. It's a beautiful part of this state. We've got incredible 4 seasons. We have access to so many other parts of the state from our geographic location. It's just an amazing place to live. So because we love it here, it probably is what attracts many other people that want to come here and be a part of that. But we have to do everything that we can to protect that quality of life. And again, that's the open space, the vistas, our mountain ranges, and all of the fabric of what makes this a great community. So these three things go hand in hand together as part of our overall effort. So that leads us, and this I want to, you won't be able to see all the words contained within those individual pie squares, but I'm going to kind of walk through and highlight just a few key things that I think are significance, and we currently have underway as part of our overall water management planning. So there's 4 components to this overall strategy, and it's the plans, studies, and strategies, the partnerships that we have, the policies that we'll be looking at, and some specific projects. So I'll kind of walk us through each of these very quickly. So with plans, studies, and strategies, we are in the process right now of doing a comprehensive review of all of our rates for water and wastewater. So just like you running a business, our utilities are what are called an enterprise fund in government. That's basically, it's running it like a business. So we have to make sure that the revenue that comes in from our customers is paying for the infrastructure, the maintenance, and the upkeep of all of the systems. If we don't invest for upgrading our systems, just like in your own business, and it begins to decline, there could be, and certainly with water and wastewater, there could be catastrophic consequences to that. So this is an investment and asset that all of us own that we want to make sure that we maintain for the long run. So we are doing a deep dive into what those rates and fees should be, and we'll, over the next number of months, the town council will be having meetings related to this. In addition, we'll be looking at a modified conservation strategy with that. So again, revisiting the tier structure that we have on how much water, if someone uses a certain amount of water, at what rate do they pay for that water, and if they use a lot of water, does that rate go up, and hopefully force people to really think about how much water they're using. So that will also be part of that review and analysis. The second one, the master drainage and recharge, we've launched this past year. Again, a full comprehensive review of all of our drainage systems across the town. We are working with an outside consultant that's a preeminent group here in the state of Arizona, and they're doing a full mapping of our town, and we'll be identifying where we've got drainage issues, which we do have some drainage issues in some of our core parts of the community, so we'll be looking at all of those. But tied to this, and what I think is really exciting, is we're looking for creative ways, again, that we can take stormwater legally, not damming it up and holding back other people's water rights, but where can we have creative solutions to try to recharge as much water as we can back into the aquifer. So through the design of our system, the use of natural strategy, using strategies with how to basically take soil and improve the condition of the soil, you're able to recharge water in a better way. So we'll be looking at all of those types of things that will hopefully be able to bring more water back into our aquifer. The General Plan 2035, thank you to our voters. They approved that this past fall. Within the General Plan, if you've not had a chance, if you're looking for late night reading, there's a lot of good strategies in there, but the whole General Plan is about the type of community we want for the future. And so there are specific water-related strategies within that. And the last one there is the Big Chino monitoring. We are in partnership with the city of Prescott on a ranch up in the Palden area. And we, over the past many years, have been in partnership with them as well as the Salt River Project at monitoring and modeling if we were to take water out of that area, what would be any impact to the Verde River. And we want to make sure that we have no impact on the Verde River. We want to protect that river, but we also want to make sure that we're able to obtain some of the water from that area that could be imported into our community. Partnerships are absolutely vital. We cannot do this alone as a community. As I mentioned, we have had a strong working relationship with the Upper Verde River Watershed Coalition. This is a group made up of all of the jurisdictions, the county, and they work very hard at looking at that overall watershed management. We've recently worked with the Regional Climate Change Coalition. This is another initiative, again, looking at how we, as we look at increasing temperatures, changing weather patterns, how do we prepare for that, and how can we be a part of that change? U of A Cooperative Extension, so I didn't put this in. If you know me, I'm a proud U of A Wildcat. But U of A, the University of Arizona, is the state's land-grant university. So there's only one land-grant university in each state, and U of A happens to be that one. And they've got amazing resources that they provide through the university out to all of the counties. And so we're wanting to tap into as much of that talent as we possibly can and bring it here to Prescott Valley. And then the last piece is certainly our relationship with Prescott and the Salt River Project is critical to our long-term success. We don't want to be at odds with our sister city. We want to make sure that we're lockstep in making sure we protect the overall aquifer. As it relates to policies, we are starting to look at what we call water sales policy. Right now, we've been selling water to outside of the jurisdiction at the same rate that all of you pay. And so we're going to be looking at, is that fair? Is it fair that that you guys are subsidizing people that may live in the county areas? So we'll be talking about that with the town council. That second one, I think, again, it is a very exciting one. This goes back to our quality of life. How can we identify and secure open space and conservation lands? So we all appreciate the rolling grasslands. We appreciate our mountain vistas. How can we work as a community and in partnership with other jurisdictions in the state to try to secure some of those open space areas so that there isn't development, but it also protects our quality of life? And the last bit there was the water for commercial and industrial use policy. The town, out of the town's existing water portfolio, what we own of water resources, again, we want to make sure that we're trying to attract jobs to this community. And so when we have an opportunity to land an industrial component, a manufacturing component, we want to make sure that we can come to the table and be able to supply water for that. And that's, again, important for all of us as business people in this community. And the last, what I wrap up with is just some specific projects. This Agua Fria recharge is a very big project. We currently are recharging in the lower part of the Agua Fria in our community, but we've been studying how could we bring water further up into the community, actually up near Granville, and discharge water into the upper Agua Fria channels, so that we can capture more recharge into our community and also recharge in areas that we're currently not recharging some of our water. So not only is it important from a recharge perspective, but think about the amazing possibilities. If we had water always running in some of that creek area, and we then started building trails, walking paths along that whole corridor, think of what that could do from a community perspective, just not only the access, but making sure that we've got greater connectivity throughout the community. So there's a lot of exciting things that we're looking at on that Agua Fria recharge. We've been in the process for a number of years working on some injection wells. We've paused that because of the third item, and that's the PFAS. If you remember this past year, there was a whole bunch that was put out about 4 of our wells tested for what are called these forever chemicals. And they're pretty much in everything that we use. So, all cooking materials, it's chemicals that get into the water stream. So we have a whole plan underway of how do we not only address those 4 wells, but we want to also look at the effluent, making sure that that's clean so that when we're recharging, it's pure, clean water going back into the aquifer. So those are those 4 areas from planning, our projects, our partnerships, and policies is what's making up our management water plan. And if you have any questions or wanted to learn more about it, please contact us at the town. Spend any amount of time to dig into any of the other items that are on this. But it is an exciting time for our community. I think all of these are about, again, our future. So we want to make sure that we have a viable community and economy, not only for all of us, but our kids and our grandkids and beyond. Thank you.
Okay, that was our town manager, Gilbert Davidson, from the town of Prescott Valley. And coming along with the theme, State of the Town, Prescott Valley 2023, getting a little bit more of an overview, will be Supervisor Mary Mallory, Yavapai County District 5.
Okay, let's make sure I don't trying to get my voice right with this mic. So, well, good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I would just like to start off with a question. How many people know that there are 5 county supervisors that you actually pay? Could I just have a show of hands? Okay. So I'm going to venture into a couple of different areas here. You pay us $63,800 a year. Just putting that out there. When I'm out collecting signatures or talking to the community, many people say, I didn't even know I had a county supervisor. What do you do? Do I pay you? Those are some interesting questions when I'm out there saying, hey, will you hire me? So on the table today, we distributed some paperwork. We put out there a couple of papers that show maps. Prescott Valley, I'm Prescott Valley proper. You have the south side, District 2. That would be Quailwood. You've got Stone Ridge. That's actually the chairman, James Gregory, this year. He is District 2. So you can take a look at that map and check it out and just see. Also on your voter registration, you can also look and see who your district supervisor is. So with that being said, we also have a new county administrator this year, Maury Thompson. Maury, could you please stand? I want to welcome Maury. Phil Burdone, who had worked for the county for over 26 years, retired. We've lost a lot of people in the last few years. Everybody's retiring. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that we're growing, just like the mayor said. We're growing and we're moving on to a new adventure. We also had Leslie Hoffman. She also resigned, moved on. She was our county recorder. I would like to introduce to you Michelle Burchill. Would you please stand, Michelle? She is our new county recorder. Along with that, Sheila Polk, who was our county attorney, she retired. Why am I telling you this? Because the Board of Supervisors had to appoint a new county recorder, a new county attorney, and that is Dennis McGrain. So he will also be up for election in this next 2024. The other part about it is the Board of Supervisors, we run for elections every 4 years. And in the whole state, every county supervisor is up for election in the whole state. In some counties, we have large, we have medium, and we have small. Yavapai County is a medium county, and we have 5 supervisors. Some counties only have 3. So in 2024, all of us will be up for election, and they will be run by districts, and that's how we are elected. So when you go onto the website and you see about these county supervisors, you look for the one that you would actually reach out to, that could help you, that could service you. Now, with that being said, I want to say that there's a lot of information that goes out, and that I want you to know you can reach out to me anytime, because I want people to get the correct information about the county. They're very familiar with their cities and their towns, but the county kind of gets put onto the side. And what we are is a partner. We are a partner with the towns and the cities. We work together. And recently, some of the things that we have done with the cities and towns is the intergovernment agreement for Glassford Hill open space. That is a big deal. A lot of people want to keep their open space, and we as a county are a partner with that. We work together to develop and to do the best that we can for all the constituents. Our board meetings are the first Wednesday and the third Wednesday of every month. We have 2 offices. We meet in Prescott and we meet in Cottonwood. And I know a lot of this may seem not important, but I think it's very important because I will get a lot of people that will say, well, I didn't know. I didn't get told what was going on. I didn't hear about that. I want you to know about us. I want you to be aware who we are. We collect your revenue. Your property tax is our revenue. We have sales tax, that's a revenue. And so it's important to know that you do have county supervisors and that we are people that you need to know and reach out to and participate in our meetings. Recently, we sold some property. Sometimes we've had a lot of things in the past, didn't really use them. Some of this property the county has had for over 30 years, did nothing with it. I'm a person that says, you know what, if we're not going to use it, then let's do something with the money to do better for what the future holds. So we sold some property over by the fairgrounds. They called it the Shimmer property. $327,000 is what we were able to get for that property. Right now, we will be looking at putting a property out there for Marina Street building that is down in the Prescott city. And that will be coming through on our next board meeting. We'll see where that goes. Our current budget is $362,742,441. On the table are some pie charts. Gives you an idea where your money's going and how we're spending it. One of the big subjects that we talk about is courts and law enforcement, which is 53% of our general fund budget. And if you look, you understand that we are building, almost done this year, we hope, with our criminal justice center. That was a big topic for a few years. And it has cost approximately, I would say, $70 million. But that criminal justice center serves all of the community. Right now, cities and towns, law enforcement, when your law enforcement arrests somebody, they have to drive them all the way over to the Verde. That takes them away from your local services, just so you know. So with that being said, it's a very important partnership with that criminal justice center. We also recently just had our budget retreat. We did it on January 25th. We are moving into our budget for the new year. How will that look? And what are some of the things that we will talk about? Well, we'll continue to grow and work with the towns and the cities. We did a comprehensive plan. I know that Gilbert mentioned about counties, but I will say that we are getting better at looking at how things are. What we used to do is not the way we need to continue doing it. The population is growing tremendously. So the population of the county is 242,253 people. Well, Prescott Valley is quite a big, large part of that. When it comes to the 2007 to present on elections, we have increased our voters by 30,000 people. And that could even be more just by me sitting up here talking. The number is growing, the population is increasing. That's part of the reason why we need to grow and remodel our elections department. Elections, that's another subject matter that we've dealt a lot with in the last couple of years. So just a little part on that. We contract with cities and towns. They pay us to run their election. I told myself I wouldn't talk about elections, but I'm going to. Because as Sanford knows, I go off my beaten path. And Cynthia, my assistant, who is amazing, by the way, stand up, Cynthia. She puts a script out here for me, and I don't always stick to that. So, elections. People didn't want us to canvass that election. They thought by us not canvassing our Yavapai County election that we were going to be able to fix another county. It doesn't work like that. That's not how that works. I'm hired by you for Yavapai County. I work for Yavapai County. When I come out to get reelected, I go to you, you're the boss, and I say, hey, I'm here for a job interview. Do you think you'll hire me again? That's how it is. This is not a complicated process, folks. You're the boss. We come out and we say, hey, did we do good? Will you keep us on? Or will you think about just hiring us because we're brand new? But when we go ahead and canvass an election, we are talking about our own county. And if we don't canvass our elections, then what happens there is all of our voice could go away. The Secretary of State does not need to wait for us. She has deadlines, he has deadlines. It needs to be done. That means our people for our state representative at the local levels, the cities and towns, the mayor, just recently, he was in this election. If I didn't canvass that election, I don't know where he would be at this time. So there's a lot to learn and a lot to understand. But the bottom line is, this is where we are, and this is who we are, and this is where we need to keep our business with
District 5, Prescott East Highway. I'm sure many of you have been around it lately. It's quite in shambles. But we're working on that, and it's an improvement and a process that when it is finally done, it is going to look fabulous. So there's many people that have moved here, and they do not understand that Prescott East Highway has a neighborhood. That is a neighborhood. It is not a main highway. And so with that being said, with the population, we opened up that Granville back street. I live in Granville, so I speak to this very clearly. We have invaded that whole neighborhood. So with all of the modifications being done, we are trying to bring back somewhat of an understanding to please drive slow through here. Children play. We have a school there. And so with that, we're moving forward on the road construction. And that is another partnership with the town of Prescott Valley. The other partnership with the town of Prescott Valley is Jasper's Road. You've heard a lot about that. Well, I can tell you we are working all together. In fact, this afternoon we have a meeting to figure out how exactly that is going to come to the forefront. And that again will help with traffic. We have another subject with Old Black Canyon Highway, dirt to black. Okay, that's another partnership that the county is working on with the town. And so a lot of people, there's another road, Sundog Connector, another partnership between Prescott Valley and Prescott. You know, we have a ton of population, and we as a community need to figure out how are we going to maneuver ourselves around here, because what we had even 10 years ago is not going to make today and tomorrow move quickly or safely. So what I reach out to the people and say, help me, work with me. This is not my community, this is our community. And I am the supervisor that says, bring me your ideas. If this idea can't work, then let's talk about what something could work. We see a lot of roads that go nowhere today. Those roads were planned to go somewhere, and we are here. This is somewhere. This is today. What are we going to do, and how are we going to make this work for us? So, in close, what I want to say is that I am honored to be a partner in this community with all the cities and towns. The Board of Supervisors are an amazing board, and please take the opportunity to find out who your supervisor is and get the chance to talk with them, reach out to them. I feel they're very accessible, you know. And just a little history of me, I came here 22 years ago on a job transfer with the Albertsons Market that no longer is here. It's now called Park Collective. From that point, there's a thing called and then. So and then, Ron Fain, who used to come to the Albertsons Market and shop, came in and said, I think you should run for town council. And I said, what's that? He said, oh, you get elected, and I was like, oh no, I can't do that, no, you know? But I did, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And then, there was an opportunity, after almost 9 years serving on the town council of Prescott Valley, there was an opportunity to go to the county to be the supervisor for District 5. And I thought, oh, I can do that. I already do that with the town. And so here I am today. And I want to thank all of you for what you do, because the partnerships that we have in this room is what is going to grow our community to the best and positive movement we can be. And we do not have to get down into the dirty weeds, but we will rise above that, move forward, and build each other up, because that's what Yavapai County does. That's what all of our cities and towns do. We work together to build better homes for today and for tomorrow. So I want to thank you for all of your time and entertaining me as I go off the rails and get a little bit, you know. But thank you again. God bless you, and reach out to me anytime that you have questions, because I want you to get the truth. That is important to me, is that you get the truth and the right information so you can move forward and help our community be positive. Thank you.
That was Mary Mallory, our county supervisor for District 5 for Yavapai County. And I do apologize, our microphone bit the dust, but our next speaker has a booming radio voice. So he shouldn't have any problem. And so I'd like to invite up to speak Sanford Cohen, economist and owner of Arizona's Hometown Radio Group.
Thank you. Really gives you a lot of confidence in battery-powered cars, right? Yeah. Wow. I actually had the same thing happen when I was the host of the Grand Marshal Gala in Prescott. The batteries died on the microphone, and so they brought me a second one. The batteries died there too. And so they ended up, I had two microphones. I don't know which one worked, but it didn't really matter. Anyway, we're used to dealing with technical situations in our business, so it's just something you have to overcome. So I'm here to talk about investments. Imagine if Prescott Valley was a stock, and you bought it back in 1985 when there were 3,200 people in town. What would that be worth today? Well, we heard it from Carter and from the mayor. It's worth $48,295 dollars in today's world. So getting here early, obviously, was a blessing. During this time, though, Prescott Valley has faced a number of economic challenges. I remember back in the late 80s, prosperity was declared because Prescott Valley had reached a brand new height of a new housing start every day. Then by 1992, Prescott Valley was on the downturn. We had sunk to just one new housing start a day. But over the years, Prescott Valley has made it a habit of staying one or two steps ahead of the game. We kept a bigger than normal rainy day fund. So when the Great Recession hit, this town was able to function and stay afloat and take advantage of the post-recession boom that started in earnest in 2010 and has kept on chugging along right to this very day. So what's in the cards for Prescott Valley in the immediate future? Well, look around you. Residential and commercial development are robust. Not just single-family homes, but multifamily residential housing is being created thanks to some very intelligent development decisions. Regardless of what the overall national economy does, Prescott Valley has the momentum to carry itself into the future, which I see playing a leadership role in Yavapai County and beyond. So, I get to stand here as the graybeard, 37 years in Prescott Valley guy and tell you that I've experienced high inflation before. In 1981, when Terry and I bought our first house in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, we locked in a 14.5% mortgage rate. And we were glad to do it. The mortgage rate ended up peaking at 21%. Inflation was in... Hello. So yeah, imagine people crabbing about having to pay 7% for a mortgage when we were paying 14.5%, thinking we were getting off, great. Inflation, in addition to the high interest rates, inflation was in double digits at over 10% a year. The inflation numbers we've been seeing have been in the 6s and 7s and 8s. We had 10% per year. The prevailing sentiment back then was, buy it now before the price goes up. And that extra panic consumption only helped drive up prices further. President Nixon imposed wage and price freezes for 90 days. And he also eliminated the gold standard, which led to a decade of stagflation. So I brought with me a souvenir from those days. It's a win button.
Whip inflation now.
Yes, sir. Whip inflation now. This is a real one, too. It's from the 70s. There was, however, a benefit for savers in that economy. You could go into Tucker Federal Savings right there in Norcross, Georgia, and walk in with $500 and open up a passbook savings account and get 12.5% on your money. We don't have that today, do we? Our credit union people? 12.5. You want to get people coming in, just offer 12.5. Well, we've got the relatively high interest rates, the relatively high inflation. What we don't have is relatively high unemployment. In that economy, the unemployment was in the double digits. You had a hard time finding a job. Nowadays, practically anybody looking for a job can find one. Not necessarily in their chosen field, but if you need to work, there'll be a place for you. It's actually a great time to be an entrepreneur. There are so many technological advantages now that allow you to do more with less. Your web presence is an extra storefront, and you can direct people to it, hopefully with local radio advertising. That's one thing I've gotten assurance from, even from dyed-in-the-wool social media people. You stand a better chance of making your online presence pay off as a business if you use companies like ours to direct searches to you and not just to your category. So, mortgage rates are higher than before, but still at below historic rates. If you are spreading your roots here in Prescott Valley, investing in a home is practically a can't-miss proposition. As the world chaos comes to our shores and borders, we remain in a safe place, a wholesome place, and a place where we make it our goal to live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity every day. So in times like these, with uncertainty in the stock market, fewer opportunities to speculate, and costs rising, there is a can't-miss strategy that is battle-tested and proven profitable in the long term. And simply that is investing in yourself. Making your surroundings more life-sustaining. Investing in education, not on trendy topics, but real knowledge that helps create self-reliance. When we make our personal lives better, that creates a more sustainable community. I can tell you from experience, the best advice I got was from my very first advertiser, Gil Kuno of Farmers Insurance. He got me to put away a little bit of money every month. It was automatically deducted from my checkbook and put into what they call a premium deposit fund. You still have those, right, Vince? No, you don't have those anymore? Well, I'm sure you can come up with something. So it was automatically deducted, never even touched it. That was 37 years ago. So I can tell you right now, it's never too late to start. Put a little something away. Last thing, you've got to commit to eating well and staying fit. Invest in action, in activity. We spend way too much time sitting in front of screens. We live in one of the most beautiful and accessible places in the world. Get out and see some of it. You don't need to go to Hawaii or to Europe to enjoy great scenery. We have it here in abundance. And best of all, your dollars stay here at home, where every dollar spent circulates 7 times. I pay you, you pay them, they pay them, they pay them 7 times. That's a lot of jobs. So your best investment is right here. And you and your children will be the ones to reap the benefits. And I just wanted to call your attention to this technological advance that is sitting on your table. Please feel free to take it with you and scan our free app, because then you won't need to worry about Sirius XM or any of those other things, because you can stream our radio station and take it with you anywhere in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Sanford Cohen, President and CEO of Arizona's Hometown Radio Group. I'd like to now invite the ambassadors up here so we can do the 50-50 drawing. And while they're coming on up, I just want to thank so many people. The chamber staff and the ambassadors do so much to prepare for this. They're here for us. Look at this effort that they put out. And they'll tell you what they're going to use the money for. I want to thank the back burner staff, Mark with Channel 56, Justin with Signals AZ, our tech, John Johnson from Precision PC, and of course the program sponsor, Arizona's Hometown Radio Group. So I'd like to have ambassadors do the drawing and tell us where the money's going.
Kim and I are going on vacation. Not to Hawaii, or we're going to stay local. No. All the money that you all donated goes into the scholarship fund that the Chamber and the Ambassador have set up. Last year we gave away 3 $1,000 scholarships to Prescott Valley graduating high school students. So this year we're going to do 4.
With your help.
With your help. And your help was $178 into the scholarship fund, $178 to one of you lucky winners. One other side note, next month bring cash.
Or to the Alive After 5.
Or the Alive After 5, which is next Wednesday? Next Wednesday at In the Game. So we'd love to see you all there. They won't know what to do with us all. Winning ticket, the last 5 numbers. 84772. 84772. And she won the 50-50 at the last mixer, too. She is on a roll. We'll bring this to you. Eventually. That's it.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm Logan from the Squealing Hog Catering. We're catering now. We don't have our food truck, so just catering. And
I'm Kimberly Lopez from Arizona's Hometown Radio Group.
Thank you, Logan and Kim. We appreciate it. We appreciate everything the ambassadors do. And again, the Chamber of Commerce and the staff, Marnie Yule, the back burner staff, Mark with Channel 56, Justin with Signals AZ, and of course, program sponsor, Arizona's Hometown Radio Group, the tech, John Johnson, Precision PC. And I hope you all are fully aware now of the state of the town, Prescott Valley 2023. Have a great and prosperous day.